Hello, Puggies. Thank you so much for joining myself, little Rosie, and Charles, who's currently having a snooze on the floor. If you haven't realised it yet, we had a few technical difficulties with our live stream tonight, so I've had to re-record the video, and I'm really disappointed because it was a great live stream all by ourselves, wasn't it? Wasn't it, Rosie? So thank you so much to everyone who did try and dial in and catch up on all the information. So this is our way of making sure that you get it all. We will send a message out to one of the people that did engage or tried to engage during the live stream and give them a PJ for free because we didn't want you to miss out, or because we had some technical difficulties. Very embarrassing, I have to admit, very embarrassing, needless to say. But thank you so much for joining us with the live stream. We're really excited about the Puggie PJ launch. And tonight, Rosie and Charles have decided that they would like to wear their camouflage PJs. So Rosie is in pink and Charles is in green. So for the first part of the live stream, Rosie will be with me, and then we'll swap over and Charles will come up and say hello as well. One thing I will say is, although this is a re-recording of tonight's live stream, if you have questions and you couldn't get through to ask them, please send me a message either on Facebook or Instagram, or send me an email. I'll be more than happy to provide answers and help you in any way I can. It's really important that you get what you need so that your puggy has the outfit that they've always wanted, because they deserve to be the best dressed at the party. So what we wanted to do tonight was just quickly share with you the reasons why we decided to do a PJ launch this year. We've never done one before, and I have to admit it was a load of fun and really exciting. And I've never really had PJs on my pugs before. My pugs have always had all other sorts of clothes. I was a little bit afraid of PJs, and I can quite safely say that it was all for nothing. Hey. And at the end, once we go through the reasons why we love PJs, we'll share with you a couple of shopping and dressing tips to help you out before your PJs arrive, because it's all about making sure that your pug's comfortable. So the reasons why we love PJs: they're warm all over. So Charles is getting to the age where he's over 12, where the temperature during winter time does get into his bones, and he's finding it difficult to keep warm and go outside for his morning constitutional, especially if you're like us and you live in Melbourne. And so they're really good from the perspective of being able to keep his hindquarters warm or warmer than if we had him in a jumper or a t-shirt. The great thing I do love about PJs is that they can be worn all day and all night. You can be snuggling inside and then throw on a harness quite quickly and then run outside and go for a bit of a walk and not actually have to take your PJs off. So your PJs can be colour coordinated with your harness, which is just absolutely wonderful. Rosie's gotten cranky with me because I won't give her another treat. She's already had a few, I can tell you that. Because the other great thing about being able to pop a harness on and just go walking with your PJs is that we, like last weekend, we tripped down to the coffee shop so I could grab a coffee, and the puppies were very happily sitting there in their PJs, keeping warm because it was a little bit cool, and gaining a whole bunch of attention from everybody else who was at the coffee shop. And we didn't have to change the outfit, which was even better. Now, one of the other reasons why we really like PJs, and I can't take the credit for this brilliant idea, for those of you who go to the Sunraysia Pug group, you'll know Mandy. She's the pug mum to Frank and Daisy. And Mandy said to me last year that one of the reasons why she buys pug clothing for Daisy and Frank is that it helps keep all of their little fibres of joy contained. And I thought that was such a great way of thinking about dressing your pug. So, you know, if you've got a puggy who seems to shed at really strange times of the year and you're trying to keep it all contained, then PJs, because they're all over, are definitely one to be able to achieve that. So definitely, Mandy, fabulous idea. The other thing is if you're not 100% sure if you want to get a summer weight PJ or a winter weight, so one of our summer weights is the camouflage PJs. Our winter weight ones is the cow or the Pug's bunny, which is a fleecy material. If you're not 100% sure which one is best, then my recommendation is grab a summer weight. And then if you've got a dressing gown, just pop the dressing gown over the top if you find that the summer weight's just not quite keeping your puggy warm enough on those cold mornings. Or buy a dressing gown, because the great thing with the dressing gown is that you can pop it over the top of their summer weight PJs, or you can use it like we do for Charles and Rosie after they've had a bath. Just to wrap around them and help soak up a little bit more of that moisture out of their coat. So it is one of the great things, and they look so cute. It's just so adorable in their dressing gowns. You can't say no. Hey, they're right, puppy. And the last thing is even though I think you can pretty guess, we love the colours and the patterns and the designs of the PJs available to pugs this year. And one of the things that we were really excited about was the royalty print PJs. So although the print does have French bulldogs on it, the fact that these PJs cater to a larger range of sizes for pugs that fit great, it was too hard not to, and yes, Charles has just said he agrees, it was too hard to pass up on not having them on our store for our puggies who are a little bit bigger than the average. And they do look great on, as you would have seen in our opening video where you saw our pugs Bella, Max and Buddy all wearing the royalty print. So they're just great. And you can also see them behind me just hanging up. So they're just fantastic and they're such a great fit. So those are the reasons why we decided to get PJs in this year. I have to admit, so much fun with the photo shoot, finding them, doing the size trials, because everything that we have in the store is tried by our pug supermodels before we put it up for sale to ensure that they fit a pug properly. It's really important to us. And so if there's anything else that you would like to know about the Pug PJs just in general, please let us know. Send us a message. I love talking to pug parents. I love talking pug. So please don't be afraid to connect and say hi to myself or to Rosie or Charles. And so now we're halfway through the broadcast. Our rebroadcast, I suppose you could put it. So I'm just going to put Rosie down because the second it's now halftime changeover, and I don't know if you can hear Rosie grumbling, but she's not too impressed. Go on, Charles. So, hello everyone. This is my senior pug, Charles. Hey, and he's obviously in his green camouflage PJs. Hey, very much happy with that. So a couple of the other things we wanted to share with you tonight, other than the fact that we love PJs, if you hadn't guessed, and I'm even in my PJs, why should we have a slumber party where mum doesn't get to wear PJs? It's my idea. So the shopping tip. So we released the blog on how to shop for PJs this week. All of our shopping blogs are designed to help you shop for clothes for your pugs, no matter where you're shopping for them, whether it's with us or with someone else. So please cast an eye over, have a checkers of some of the tips and tricks that we shared so that shopping for your pug becomes easier. But one of the things when it comes to shopping for PJs that we found is that although the chest measurement is definitely the most important when it comes to shopping for your pug, when it comes to PJs, the length is now the second most important because of what it ends up happening if it's too long. And so we'll talk about how we can sort of work around PJs being slightly too long in a second. But please, as I said, please drop over to the store. It's in our blog. It's also on the store front page. If you scroll down to the bottom, it'll be there. So please have a look. Our dressing video, so how to dress your pug in a PJ. Rosie is starring in it this time. That'll be coming out this week, so keep an eye out for it. In the dressing video, like all of our dressing videos, we show you how to dress your pug for real. So you can, I'm not using a mannequin, I'm using actual pugs. And we also provide you with the tips and tricks on how to do it quickly and comfortably. So probably the key thing that you need to realise when dressing your pug in a PJ is start from the front and work your way back. So head first, 4 paws, and then down to the back paws. That is the fastest and easiest way we've found to dress your pug. Who would have thought? Like, it seems so simple, doesn't it? So one of the other things that I was mentioning before was about the length and how important PJ's length is. Sometimes your pug might be 1 or 2 centimetres shorter than what is recommended for the length of the PJs that you're looking at. It fits perfect at the chest, but not quite in the length. So we've deliberately tonight dressed Charles in PJs that are slightly too long for him, although it fits okay in the chest. So you please excuse me, I'm just going to pop him up on the desk so you can see what I've done. So in the video, so here what you can see is we've got this little tail knot, as we call it, or calling it. And basically what that is that's a rubber band. You can use a hair tie, anything that can sort of cinch something in. So these PJs were about 1 to 2 centimetres too long for Charles. And so the PJs were going all the way down over his tail, which then obviously gets in the way of when he wants to go to the toilet, and then makes his back legs drag, which could potentially trip him up. So all I did was cinch up a bit of material so that it sat up properly. Hello, handsome. And then wrap the rubber band on him. So you dress them first and then you do this. And what that does is it cinches it up. It's not in the way, and then basically he can still get around. So the PJs still fit okay, which sometimes that's what we have to do, unfortunately, when it comes to pug clothing, or finding clothing that will fit our pug. We just need to do a slight tweak because they're shorter in the length than the average pug. I mean, our pugs are unique in so many ways. Are we surprised that sometimes that they're a bit shorter in the length than the average pug? So those were the tips and tricks that we wanted to share with you tonight. As I said, check out the blog. Keep an eye out for the dressing video, and Miss Rosie, who's now asleep at my feet, who's starring in that one this week. We always enjoy doing them. They're so much fun. And so the couple of questions that I did have put forward to me before the live stream tonight, that I just want to cover off. So the first one is, will my pug overheat in their PJs? So with any clothing, when it comes to your pug, there is always the potential that they will overheat. So I'm going to state the obvious and say you do need to keep an eye on your pug when they're in their PJs, whether summer or winter weight, especially if they've burrowed under a doona or a blanket, or they've decided to snuggle right up next to the heater. If they start panting and it's their preferred position, take the PJs off. And then just have the PJs on during the daytime where potentially you might not have the heater on all the time. Or if you turn the heater off overnight, then pop the PJs back on before you go to bed, and then that'll ensure that they're just a little bit cozier overnight, like poor old Charles. He really does find the cold difficult these days. The next question I had was, how can I be sure that they'll fit when I get them? There are a number of things that we do to make sure that anything that we sell on the store fits your pug. So as I mentioned before, all of our clothing is tested and trialled by our pug supermodels before we offer them up on the store. That is the first thing we do to make sure that the stuff that we've chosen does exactly what we think it's going to do, which is fit and fit comfortably. The second thing we also offer to remove the pain of shopping for your pug is we provide the Size My Puggie tool, which is a button on all of our product clothing pages. You press it. In it, it will ask you for the measurements of your pug's chest, neck, back, and height. And then the system remembers you, but as you click on it, it will tell you what size in that particular PJ fits your pug perfectly. So that's it's really handy. It's something that we really love offering to our Grumble friends for free. And it can be used anytime you come to the store, and it remembers you. You can update it, you can change it, you can do whatever you need. Things happen where your pug changes shape every now and again. Hey? And so, you know, they spend a couple of weeks with Grandma and Poppy, and yeah, unfortunately, you've then got to sort of try and make sure that everything comes back into size, which is what happens with Charles every now and again, and Rosie. So the other thing that we do to try and help you find that perfect fit is we provide our shopping guide. So all the tips that we use and the tricks that we use to shop for our product samples, we provide those for you free of charge so that you can shop better for your pug in the future. Your Puggie's happiness is really important to us, and that is why we always share this information as widely as we can. And now the last question that we had put forward is, how do I wash the PJs? Nobody likes hand washing. Nobody likes doing lots of washing. But the great thing is all the PJs are machine wash and then line dry. So if you've got one pair and you don't want your pug to be out of them for too long, you can pop them in the washing machine in the morning, hang them straight up and have them back in their PJs by the evening. So, and I'm sure you've got other clothes that you can pop on them during the daytime to keep them warm. So other than sitting under the doona or the blankie or in front of the heater. Hey, Charles. Sounds like somebody I know. So that's it. But as I said before, if there are questions or concerns that you have, or you're looking for something else and you're not quite sure, or we don't have it on the store, please get in contact with us. Send us a DM on Facebook or Instagram, send us an email, call our customer service line. We are more than happy to help you find the perfect fitting piece of clothing or accessory for your pug, because their happiness is really important to us. And you never know, you might not be the only person who is looking for that, and we can offer it on the store in the future. So thank you so much to everybody who tried to dial in for the live stream. Again, I am so sorry for the technical difficulties that we had that then meant that the live stream didn't go out properly. We've obviously now figured out what happened, and our future live streams won't have that problem, fingers crossed. But yes, it's so great to chat with you, and we hope to catch up with you again soon. So have a wonderful evening. Have a nice, warm and happy winter. And if we see you at Playgroup, make sure to come over and give us a snuffle. And that's goodbye from Charles and Rosie as well.